All right, welcome in everybody. It's good evening here. Hope you're all doing well. A couple quick things we shared over the last 24 hours or so that we wanted to go over. Some pretty awesome news, some pretty interesting reversals on one particular chart that we will take a peek at. Hopefully, you'll share your opinions with us. We'd love to get comments. Love difference of opinion. But what I'm going to show you now is just our LinkedIn page at Trim Capital Partners. Again, you can see the logo, the TCP there. Uh, most of this is related to Bitcoin, but there may be a couple of other things we look at here in just a second. But so here's one from Cointelegraph we shared yesterday, um, just showing the, I guess, excitement for maybe a new regime coming in with the SEC. Gary Gensler pretty much stepping down as Trump's administration comes in. So that's seen as a positive in the space, given I guess, the scrutiny and the regulatory environment around cryptos over the last couple of years, especially when it comes to Ripple and the XRP token. So that's been a pretty big headwind for the industry there. So then this one we'll actually take a look at here. This was Metaplanet's CEO, and I believe they are out of. I don't want to get that confused. I was thinking that's the Canada one. But anyway, Metaplanet CEO says that if the U.S. adopts a Bitcoin strategic reserve, so will Japan and other countries worldwide. I'm assuming Metaplanet's in. I think that's the Japan one. Metador is the other one. That's the one from Canada. So yeah, Metaplanet out of Japan. So here's the CEO. Let's listen to what he has to say.
But surely seeing Bitcoin becoming a topic of discussion at the highest levels of government, corporations around the world beginning to adopt it as a Bitcoin standard. In April, for us, that's when we decided that we wanted to adopt Bitcoin, and now all we want to do is accumulate more Bitcoin over time for our shareholders. And so 2024 will go down as the year where it all began.
The year
There
where
you
it
go.
all began, and also sort of like Donald Trump following your footsteps, because now he's saying he's going to have a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Do you think that's actually going to happen?
Absolutely. Being a non-American, perhaps I can say this definitively. I do think that the Bitcoin community in the U.S. helped elect the president, and so hopefully President Trump will do what he has said that he will, which is to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve, and then countries around the world will follow. Japan is one of those countries where they do look to the U.S. as sort of their big brother and follow in their footsteps. And so I think if President Trump does adopt it as a strategic reserve, then Japan and many other countries in Asia will do the same.
In a way, it's sort of like we're going to see the game theory play out in full circle. We're going to see, like, what countries would you say will follow the United States footprints?
Good question.
You said Japan?
Yeah, I think Japan. I think a lot of the countries in Asia. I think a lot of the third world countries in particular that see, perhaps adopting Bitcoin will be a way to shore up their own currencies. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, coming out of the Dubai Abu Dhabi conference, we got to hear from a lot of the governments in the region, and I think it's definitely something that is a topic, and they are secretly buying kind of behind the scenes, and hopefully they will announce quite soon. I think a lot of them are being deferent to the U.S. So after President Trump announces the strategic reserve, I think a lot of other countries will say, actually, we own Bitcoin as well.
Man, this is massive. I mean, it's right there. I mean, I can't even really say much about that. So yeah, Bitcoin game theory is incoming. I would assume once Trump does make that announcement, we're going to see a quick move to the upside, most likely. Can't wait. Should be remarkable. Then here's another little article from Cointelegraph, just talking about BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF. The fact that it now holds over 2% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist. And I hate, personally, I hate to focus on BlackRock. BlackRock is investing its clients' funds. BlackRock doesn't own it. BlackRock is holding it. So always keep that perspective. I mean, if their clients want to exit, guess what? They're going to be selling. So just to put that in perspective. Well, then here, of course, is one from the crypto briefing from Ripple's Chief Legal Officer, Stuart Alderati, that just states that he anticipates the SEC will focus on established legal principles for crypto regulation, limiting its authority to securities to avoid jurisdictional overreach. And basically, that's been the whole issue this whole time, the last couple of years, is, who has oversight over the crypto? Are they assets? Are they securities? Are they commodities, etc.? So still being ironed out, I guess, in terms of details there. Um, let's see, here's a little monthly Bitcoin heat map, returns since 2012, so you can take a look at that. Pretty impressive if you look at the annual returns. There's only been three negative months. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 negative years. Interesting. All right, let's take a look here. Franklin Templeton. And again, going off that Metaplanet video, Franklin Templeton is 1.5 trillion in assets. They indicate that they expect to see a strategic Bitcoin reserve added by several nations. So pretty consistent there. And then in totality, this was one I just thought was interesting from, again, Cointelegraph posted it, but in terms of the Bitcoin spot ETFs as of, I guess, yesterday, they now hold over 1.1 million Bitcoin, which is nearly 6% of the total Bitcoin to ever exist. I'm trying to think if that's accurate. Yeah, probably at the moment with the supply that's out there, because there's about 14 million, so that's probably about right. And then here's one from Blockworks talking about RWA integration with DeFi could grow the market 10x, and that's from Securitize CEO Carlos Domingo. We've got one here from Cointelegraph as well, and to me, this is huge because I know a lot of organizations, a lot of individuals leverage E-Trade platform, whether it's for stock, options, grants, whatever, stock grants, whatever it may be. So 1.5 trillion assets under management. Morgan Stanley's E-Trade considers adding crypto trading amid hopes for favorable regulations under the incoming Trump administration. That would truly open the door to a lot of people who probably are not investing at the moment. That's exciting. And then here we just posted a XRP chart, which we'll actually look at it. And this was the one I was referring to a moment ago, and here it is on the screen. You can see we were we were hoping this would come down a little more, but the yellow line you see on the chart is the 50-day moving average. The white is the 200. So you can see that price, after it started retrace back at 280, it came down, almost hit that 50-day moving average, and now we have seen a trend reversal happen right here. So this is as low as it retraces, and we're already at 245. We're in a normalized trading zone, so we're not really extended or exhausted to the upside. If this turns and moves higher again, this thing could get impressive really fast. So again, all transparency, we do hold positions in XRP, but that could be impressive. We're looking forward to watching this one throughout 2025. So whether it's cross-border payments, tokenization, I think XRP has a bright future. Of course, none of this is financial advice, so we'll throw it on the screen. You invest at your own risk. This is information and educational only. But with that, just a few things we wanted to share today. We can actually take a look at one more, and we are actually trying to make a decision here. We have just a little bit of capital that we want to allocate, and we would like your feedback in the comments as far as which one you would do and why. And believe it or not, we're going to be choosing between a meme coin, which I never really thought I'd be saying, and the graph. Again, all transparency, we do already have a sizable position in the graph, but we may add to it. So we'll take a look at these two charts real fast, and hopefully you'll tell us in the comments which one you would do. So Bonk is, I know it's a meme coin on the Solana blockchain. There's 70 plus trillion tokens in circulation. So clearly it's a meme coin. They do burn tokens, but I mean it would take an astronomical amount of burning to actually make a dent there. But you can see here this thing's retraced significantly, busted through the 50-day moving average, actually hit off that 200-day. We are still in that negative downtrend here with the red section here. You can see the momentum bars are still below the midline and below the trend line. We are in that blue normalized range, and we are starting to print some green dots down here below this opportunity zone. So this one's, for a meme coin, for us, we would never invest long-term in a meme coin, but if we were trying to maximize short-term gains, we may look at one or two. The only reason we're really looking at Bonk is, Solana has a lot of developer activity. A lot of new developers are flocking to that blockchain. We think Solana has a great future, so maybe that could help raise the Bonk boat, if you will. But certainly we would never recommend anyone to buy a meme coin. And of course, I would never invest more than I was willing to lose. So always remember that. But you make your own decisions. This is just data and what our system of indicators is telling us. So that's Bonk. For those that don't know, you can look that up on CoinMarketCap or whatever research tools that you like to use. And then the graph, hopefully you're familiar with that one. I like to put it in the category, it's not exactly the same, but kind of with the API 3s of the world, even chain links of the world, piths of the world. To me, Anchor of the world. So they're kind of all grouped here. As you can see, we kind of monitor these together. But the graph, let's see, it's trying to print a trend reversal here. Hasn't quite made it, but it did come down again, busted through the 50-day and hit off that 200-day moving average. We still are showing some negative trending momentum bars here. Again, normalized range, and we're down below that opportunity zone. So this would be the time, at least for us in our portfolio, on how we would dollar cost average in here and add to our position. Now, if you're asking me what's the more quality play for us, certainly that would be the graph. What's a more risky play for us that could maximize returns? Probably Bonk. If it becomes more mainstream and we see a meme coin mania kickoff here like we're expecting to see, something like Bonk doesn't really have to move a whole lot to generate pretty significant returns. So that's another one that we're looking at here. But what we will do, as we promised on our LinkedIn channel at Trim Capital Partners, we will post any trade that we make. But we'd certainly love for you to comment either through the LinkedIn channel or in the YouTube video in the comments which one you would pick, the graph or Bonk, and hopefully tell us why you would choose that. If you think one's more undervalued or overvalued than the other, would love to see your explanation and what your thoughts are there. And there was one article I actually wanted to show. I think it was on Bonk. Let's take a look here. We saw this earlier today. Where is it? I want to say it was Bonk. It might be the graph. 1 second. It's the graph. Okay. So a couple of just headlines here. This is coming through TradingView. But you can see that it looks like they're going to be doing some meetups where they already have. So that was back in December. But then this article here, which was just a few days ago, about a week ago, it just states that the inclusion of the graph on Bridgers allows for cross-chain swaps, enabling transactions across major blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum. This could significantly increase the graph's utility and accessibility, potentially driving up its demand. I think 2025 is going to be a year for utility tokens, and that's why we are very high on XRP, XLM, XDC, the graph, API3, basically name any of the utility tokens you can think of. I think 2025 may be a good year. So again, we already have a good sizable position in the graph, so that's why we're running it up against Bonk for this small capital, I guess, position that we want to add. For us, it really doesn't matter which one we go with. They're probably, at least the graph is probably the safer choice for us, but we're going to see if we want to be a little bit more risky for our own portfolio. But again, none of this is financial advice, but just wanted to share the information, let you see some relevant news, let you see how we're thinking about certain uh, opportunities, and hopefully you can learn something along the way. With that, always remember, identify something you can believe in, trust your gut, and execute your strategy, and hopefully everything will be just fine. We will see you in the next one. Thank you.